Hello everyone, so today I will show you how to do the minimap tracking but with a camera. What I mean by that, if you already have Game Creator and you have the Quest module, you'll see that you have already a minimap. So I will show you how the minimap presents in the example scene over here, which is working very good for someone who likes it like that. So as you see, the center is the player, and over there we have the quest, which is the green box over there. So if I get close or get around, it's gonna show me. But as you see over here, the minimap, it's transparent. The radar is transparent. So yeah, that can be left it like this, or if you want, you could see the map from above, and it will be a much better design. Now in this first video, I will show you how to make to show the minimap, and then in another video I will show you how to apply a mask, which is practically very simple, but right now I still need to test that in such a way to not be the minimap rounded, but to not be square but to be rounded, but that for another video. So for now, let's do this. I'm gonna stop the video, the playback here, and one of the things that we need over here is a canvas. So again, UI canvas. Let's set this canvas first. I like this canvas to be scale with screen size. And I like this to be at 0.5. In this way it's gonna scale correctly. In case someone is having a smaller resolution, it's gonna scale with that. Otherwise, you're gonna wake up that in some computers the minimap, it will get half of the screen, but it's not gonna happen in too many computers, but you might never know. And this is the canvas. Now on the canvas we add another thing. We add a UI raw image, and this one we will call it mini map background, which actually projection will be much better. The doesn't matter too much the name. And let's go in the scene mode 2D, and we just zoom out until we found the, here it is. Now this one we're gonna move it over here. There is many ways if you know how to center it, but anyway, I will make it about 300 per 300 to match the square over there. Let's see if we are in the center. Here it is. I could actually make something much better and get the same position of the thing is one of these. Minus 50 and 50, but this is the minimap inside of this, which is a little bit hard to do it. Anyway, so we got the minimap UI raw image. Now we go in the project and we go create. We will have to find for render. Let me see, render texture, and this one we will call mini map texture. Okay. Over here we set 300 per 300, and we add the minimap texture over here, and then we create another camera. And on this camera we just delete the audio listener, and you'll see over here that we have target texture, and we drag this minimap texture over here. So right now, as you see on that square over there, it's showing what the camera sees. but we don't want to see that, so we go on the player and we take the position of the player and we make it over here. So now we have it on the player, but we need to be above the player. Let's set the camera on orthographic and we set the X rotation at 90 degrees. In this way it will see the player from above. As you see over here, the camera, it sees the player from above. Now we can increase the eyesight from over here, from the size. If you want it to be more or less, I will put it somewhere around this. Okay, and let's see the game view. So as you can see now, it's centered on the player. But the problem is that until now we just see the player from above, but that's it. If I move the player, the camera, it will stay there. And let's do a test, and that's it. So I want the camera to move with the player. Well, in this case we go back on the camera and we add a trigger. Let's close this and this, and we add a trigger. This trigger has to be on update, but we have to go on the game creator hub and we have to find an action which I created. It is this one, send number from vector rotation. Okay, and we install it. And there is another one, I think is this one, vector 3 from float. Let me check on the game creator hub website. Vector 3 from float value. Yep, this one. And this one too. Okay, so now we have those two actions. So let's see, first of all we need to actually set the camera position with the camera position equal to the position of the player. The problem is there is an action for doing that already, change the position, but it will change even the eye vector, which is the height, so it will make it at the same height with the player, and I want to be more above, otherwise it's gonna be at the height of the head of the player, which probably, now I'm thinking about, if I change the on the camera, if I change the size over here, it should not be a problem. Let's see that first. Change position, and I want to change the position of the camera with the value of character player, and let's see how he's doing that. Since that is working, so we don't actually need the author action. Yeah, we can do it only with that. After all, I don't know why I didn't think about on this. Yeah, we can do that only. So now the camera is actually following the player, since it's changing the same position with the one on the player. I didn't think about the fact of the camera that, being orthographic, it doesn't matter of the height, because if I'm going the scene over here and you see the camera is equal to the position of the player. Now you might say, why I'm not putting the camera as a child of the player, and then it will just follow the player. I will show you a little bit later why I'm not doing that. Now, anyway, if I'm gonna activate that quest and I'm doing with the camera like this, you see the quest on the minimap is changing the position, but the map is not rotating. So I want to change the rotation of the map equal to the rotation of the camera that I'm using it. And for doing that, I will use one of these two actions that I have over here. Set number. Okay, set number from vector rotation. And let's add that. Set number from vector rotation. So I will set in a local variable. Let's add a local variable here. And it will be a number. And we will call this I vector. And I will add the local name variable here, and I will set the I vector. I will set in this location the camera, main camera, and I want to set this, the epsilon one, because that one I will need it. Now I need to actually send this number to the minimap camera. This one I didn't call it, let's call it now. It will be minimap camera. Otherwise we're doing a little bit of confusion with all the cameras. And this one, it's another action that is integrated in the core. It's called set vector, and we want to set the vector epsilon, and we want to set reflection. If I'm not mistaken, it should be field vector. No, it's property actually. And it's Euler angles, since it's a rotation. And we take this from the variable, local name variable. We drag it here and we take it from the I vector. This one, it should be a little bit upside down, because first you say what you want to set. No, actually it's okay. You want to set something and from where, but it doesn't says from. It says, yeah, anyway, they're a bit confused with these actions. So right now we actually setting even the rotation equal to the camera, since we take it from here and we take the rotation of the epsilon from the camera, we send it to the local variable, which is here, and then with a second action we send it to the minimap camera from the local variable to the minimap, and we set the rotation in update. So let's do that a test and see how it's working. So as you see right now, it's changing the rotation. I'm going to increase this image a little bit. It's changing the rotation with the camera. Let's do a test with the quest over there. And here it is. It's going around. We can see the player. Of course, you have to know that this in performance, it will eat some performance since you have a rendering camera. Another thing to take in consideration on the minimap camera, maybe you don't want to see all the objects. In that case, you have to go on the camera himself and choose which things have to be seen on the culling mask. Everything, or maybe something not, because maybe you don't want to see all the objects, like maybe not all the trees, or maybe no weapons, or maybe, I don't know, since the minimap doesn't really count too much. maybe on the camera, on the map you don't really want. You can use this even as a map if you don't know how to do it. On another video I will show you how to do even a map using the same, quite the same strategy and moving around the map. And over there you'll see why I'm saying the cooling mask is very important, because otherwise someone it will cheat and it will see with a camera on the map where are enemies or weapons or loot or whatever. So pretty much that's all. And if you have game creator, this is easy peasy for doing it. Enjoy.